I'm here at Legal Geek and I'm talking with Krow of Digitory Legal, as I understand it. What is Digitory Legal?
So Digitory Legal is a cost prediction and management platform for complex litigation. We transform and analyze billing data and use that data to create predictive pricing models, and then customers can leverage our platform to manage costs over the life of the matter.
So it's looking at the data from history?
Historical data, yes.
And you're sitting there as an outside company, and I'm just asking you this naively. You have to get that data from, or you're licensing the solution to the firm so they can do it on their own, or you're getting a pool of data from multiple firms.
We're getting a pool of data so that we can use from the firm,
right.
And then we will do the analytics for them and give it back to them in a way that actually tells them what happened, and they can use to cost out cases for their next engagements.
How did you get into this? I mean, you're a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you practice?
17 years.
Equal 17 years. Exactly 17 years. And I thought I'd be doing it the rest of my life. I enjoyed it. I was having fun.
Yeah.
But when was the moment you said, I think I got this idea?
So, like a lot of legal tech founders, I started Digitory Legal to solve my own problem.
Right.
But when you're a partner, your problem isn't so much about the practice of law. That's kind of the easy part. It's really about the business of law. Exactly. Yeah. And ironically, the moment that set me thinking about this path was, from a practice of law perspective, probably my biggest success. I tried a case that had huge potential liability or downside, and not very many people thought we could win it, and we completely defensed it. It was a great victory, and a month later the client pushed back on the bill. And I realized at that moment that the market had changed. I saw the rise of legal operations and legal procurement before they even had a name. And I realized that there were so many different ways we could have done better with more cost transparency, better technology, better processes. And so I built Digitory Legal to provide that cost transparency.
You're saying you built it?
Yes.
You're not a coder.
I am not a coder. I am not a coder.
Who actually, and I understand what you mean, you built the concept and the company and what it could do. As you had to get into development, where'd you get that from? Where did you find this?
So I'm fortunate enough to live in Silicon Valley, and have been there for a very long time. So I tapped into the network, and so my CTO has a lot of successful startup experience. He was the CTO of a company called Flutter.com, which was bought by Betfair. It's the world's first and largest online gaming system. So access to talent like that was something that I had based on time and location.
What firm were you with when you were?
I was a partner at Oric for many years.
Yeah, and Oric was a reasonably progressive firm.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah.
So you maybe didn't have the hurdles that other people did, like me, totally naive, no connections, flying out to Seattle and I know nobody. And I have to start finding people to meet that know much more than I do. Why you, though? I mean, where you're going to say, okay, I'm going to go from practicing lawyer, doing great work, like you just described it, to having a legal technology company. I mean, you weren't working for 17 years to groom yourself to be a founder and to run a company.
That is true, and I did really like practicing law, but I realized that there was a moment that the entire industry was changing, and I had a choice. I could take that moment and that opportunity to be part of that historical change, or I could put my head back down and try cases for bigger companies and harder cases for the next 20 years. And I'm more of a risk taker probably than most. I've always followed my own path, and I wanted to take that moment. It was now or never.
What did your partners think? I assume somebody had to come in and lean in your office door one evening and say, "What are you doing?
What on earth are you thinking?" So I will remember that one person, when I told him that I was leaving, said, "Well, either you're going to be calling us up and asking for a job in 2 years, or we're going to be working for you." And I decided right then which side of that equation I wanted to be on. It was very motivating. So I think there was some how on earth is she going to do it? But that just drives me harder.
Every company that starts from, I mean, you're starting from scratch. You're creating something that never existed before. There's highs and lows. Some are cyclical. Some are bigger moments. Are there moments that you remember that you go, oh my God, does it have to be this hard? Am I going to make it through this?
Yes. There have been moments when I thought to myself, oh my goodness, what am I doing? And part of it is I am a mother of two, and I found the only thing harder than trying cases, which is starting your own company. And, you know, I moved to London for a large part of this summer and was away from my family to participate in the fantastic MDR Lab program. And that was personally very difficult, professionally great. So there have been challenges, but we've overcome them.
What was the moment where you thought this is going to work? I mean, maybe you'd never want to say that, but the moment where I remember for me, it was like when the first check came, and I asked them to send checks, not wire any money or do any transfer, because I wanted to touch the check from a major law firm.
I can neither confirm or deny that there is a picture of that somewhere on a wall somewhere. Yeah, I mean, signing the first enterprise customer was a huge moment. But some of it was, I was fortunate enough, perhaps just the curiosity factor, to get connected to and time with some very high-level players in the industry, and having access to those folks and showing them a beta and having them go, whoa, I need that. That was an injection of adrenaline that no verdict can give
you're walking out and you're going, oh my God, this is going to work.
And it was, you just said that. So there have been moments like that.
Have you self-funded the company, or did you get investors to do it? What did you do?
Combination of bootstrapping and angel investors.
And how long did you bootstrap it? Did you go out and get capital right away? What did you do? I'm just curious as other people hear your story.
It was a combination right from the get-go of I had a number that for bootstrapping we were willing to do, and then we needed to know that there was flow coming in from angels, and particularly people who knew the space. So both. There's
other people here today that are like you were before you started the company. Have an idea like you did, what would you be telling them? If they sat down and they say, they look at you as somehow overnight success, like you leave magic for them or whatever. But what would you be telling them, or what feedback would you give them? Like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm in a law firm. What would you be suggesting to them or talking about?
Understand that this is the hardest thing you will ever do in your life, and it is not for the faint of heart. So you got to want it and know what you're getting into. You're going to work hard. You're going to have highs and lows. There are some stats out there. The sales cycle is tough. So you really need to believe deeply in what you're doing and have a plan. And don't just look at the Silicon Valley startup stories like it's just some overnight. There are blood, sweat, and tears in this before you break through.
But it becomes the new normal. I mean, when you're in it, it's what it is. Totally different than when you're practicing law.
It is very different from practicing law, but like I said, I found the only thing harder than trying cases when starting my own company.
Well, thank you very much. That was delightful.
Thank you so much for your